Hey yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love in every nug.
New strains, they'll be the judge and see what it does. It's between the buds.
Watch this.
Hey, we're back.
Welcome back.
It's between the buds.
What's up? Yo. Your boy Joe Derek. We got who?
We Jones.
Who?
We Jones.
Yo, we
Back for another session.
Episode of Robin Wood. And we got another special guest. We got Tony.
Yes, sir.
Also,
AKA ToTo.
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 ToTo's, that's me.
Nice. Welcome. Shit, how you doing today, man?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Spring is around the corner, so I'm ready
Yes,
to
sir.
go outside and smoke some good gas.
Ready to be out in the sun again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sadly, I don't know. The state just banning that shit.
We
so-
just
I've been
talked
on that
about
shit,
that.
bro. What?
Yeah.
I'll be alright. Especially in Columbus, they don't care. They got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we'll see. They say, but
Yeah.
they trying. You guys serve 3 years in jail.
What?
If your car smells.
They've
Good luck.
They've been
What?
on some shit, bro.
I didn't even hear about that. I heard about the
sneaky.
changes they're trying to propose, but I didn't hear about the whole harshness of smoking out in public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
It's still an uphill battle.
Thanks, Ohio.
We voted for it, but they
They
turned
their
against
grubby little
it.
hands
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we
They
gotta
was up there tinting their fingers on vacation.
come together and rebuttal in some type of way. But hey, make sure y'all show up at the State House on Lobby Day. That's actually this month.
Yeah.
So show up and use your voice and make us, have a presence for real. That's what I would say. But shoot, man, in the beginning, we always ask questions and
Just the general
and
questions, some
then-
icebreakers.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we get to know you as a person and your relationship with cannabis. So
Cool.
like to start by asking, how does cannabis help you medicinally?
Shit, I've been using cannabis about 10 years plus now, going on 12 years. And I would notice a lot of depression, a lot of insomnia before I used cannabis when I was like 12, 13, 14. And I don't advise it, but I was young when I started using cannabis. And
Okay.
I definitely saw it help me out compared to other psychomeds, compared to other sources for, insomnia treatments. It's just very effective. And yeah, it helps me just creative wise and motivation wise. But last year I took a 6-week break and I was still able to manage and not have a bad withdrawal. So that's even more of a medicinal confidence is, it helps and I don't need it, but it's a great seasoning to my life. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little paprika or salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little oregano.
Oregano.
Little oregano.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all about management, and I agree. That's dope that you can still take a tea break and
Yeah.
also be able to hop back in and not.
That's a
Easier
really
said
good
than
point.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, it compared
Still
to
possible, though.
Yeah, compared to other things, it is.
I would say
Yeah, we was just talking about these
Tobacco,
last
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Like,
Alcohol, even the psychomeds that they'll throw out like it's candy.
Yeah.
I would even say too, like I went through a lot of trauma in the midst of my last 12 years, and I didn't realize how much PTSD was like lingering, just mild, but just
Yeah.
it's there. And
It's
then when I was
there.
off of that shit, it's like, oh, like that was definitely helping with that. Like holy shit. So
it's helping you work through it.
that's why I see it
instead of
directly.
just all kinda
Yeah, I
hitting
can
you at
firsthand
once.
see it. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
why those vets like to do it and all that type of shit because it can help, man.
Nah, that's what's up. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good point. Is Ohio still? Are we still running the veteran discount for that? Dispensaries and
Yeah.
stuff?
When I looked
Okay.
I think I looked yesterday and they had them on
Okay.
for rec and
That's
medical.
because I know they were considering taking some discounts away. So.
Yeah, they still got some. It's veteran and indigent.
Indigent.
Mhm.
Okay.
So already, the program can be costly in some ways. So you gotta look out for some. Really, everybody.
Yeah.
Look out for some people. So definitely the veterans, though.
Absolutely. They don't get the VA coverage for marijuana, even though it helps better than almost all the medicine that they'll prescribe.
Right.
Like I've heard a lot of like they'll give you pain medicine or sleep medicine or trauma medicine, but then there's all these side effects that cause negative other things you take more medicine for.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, why not do the thing that would actually help without having all this negativity lingering?
Having to pile on additional things.
Yeah, it's because of the federal status of it. That's why the VA and shit can't help out with cannabis costs. So it's a shame.
For sure. So would you say, you know, when you use your medicine, do you have a preferred way of using it? You know?
Yeah, now I do for sure. I used to be Mr. Tobacco roll with my weed, but now I've gotten enlightened and I've said no extra toxins with the toxin I'm already inhaling from my lungs. So I do bowls with hemp wick primarily, or bongs, you know, water filtration.
Yeah.
But you know, days I'm trying to hang out and vibe out, fat joints.
Yeah.
The Fat J.
Yep. Everyone's like a treat now. It's like, oh, I don't want to eat birthday cake every day. I don't want to smoke backwoods every day. But every once in a while, you get to savor it, enjoy it a little more. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, tobacco is wacko, what they say.
We had a quote about
that shit.
Tobacco is
it's normalized.
Smoke weed though to smoke weed, so I don't blame you. That's why I prefer papers or glass.
Like, we have all these normalized things in society, and it's like, what does this do to my body long term?
It was like a greatest trick to blend the two was to get us to want to roll it up in a tobacco.
And like
keep that industry alive.
Keep it rolling.
And the biggest thing I can see is like, okay, like it burns slower. And I was that young nigga on the side of the house trying to smoke a nice fat blunt, you know, go back to bed or go lay down for the night. So it's easy to be in that, like, I'm smoking a blunt outside. It's not burning all woozy from the wind and shit. Like it's the convenience of the blunt. You just split it, you smoke it, it's all gone. There's no remnants. You don't have to worry about filters and keeping the papers and all that. So it's like, it's easy to be like a young nigga trying to smoke and get into that. I'm smoking tobacco every time with my weed. So
they get you what you got.
Yeah, for real. It tastes sweet and all that.
Yeah,
I think
Black and Miles.
It takes away from the taste. You know, I think cannabis by itself tastes great, bro. You don't
especially
need
if it's grown, right?
Hell
it's
yeah.
supposed to have terps.
Yep.
I got some, strawberry cheesecake from Willie's. Like, it smells fruity. It tastes fruity. Like, yeah.
I've had that before.
I don't need a grape game around my weed, you know? Fuck that shit. Every once in a while, though.
Great game.
Not every time.
So
I just take straight plain.
So that goes good into the next question.
That's bars. I'm still.
You probably will for real.
It's in my noggin.
So with that being said, then, and we always kind of teeter back and forth on this one. Are you more of a sativa, indica, or hybrid person, or would you say you rely more on terps or a mix of both?
I guess at this point in my smoking career, now I do have a preference of, like, if I have 3 different strain types in front of me, and I know Clutch has the high myrcene, and the Willie's Reserve Strawberry Cheesecake is more of that hybrid fruity flavor, I'll kind of pinpoint what I want based off the day or what I'm doing. If I'm trying to roll up, I'll like save kind of shitty brittle weed for when I'm rolling. But when I was younger, I'd be like, is it weed? Is it good?
Yep.
Smoke that shit. But if I have a preference overall, I don't care.
Really?
I think marijuana does its job for me. So it's like those little special terpene strain type I'm trying to guide, but like ultimately I'm not tripping.
Okay.
If I'm all out of weed, which rarely happens, and all I have is a sativa left in the morning, I'm gonna smoke the sativa, or at night, or whatever. So I know a lot of people I talk to, like I used to work with this coworker that would say like sativas are like indicas for her. She has like she has like ADD or whatever, so she's like that's why she feels like it counteracts. So I don't ever have a problem like, oh, I'm about to go to bed, smack sativa, damn, I can't fall asleep now. That don't ever happen. THC in my system, it'll help me go to sleep on schedule. So
that's a good point. I feel like it sometimes is based on what your body's intent already is.
Endocannabinoids.
So if you're tired, like it don't matter. You know, you could you might be able to hit a lot of sativa, but you still gonna go to sleep.
It's the same type of shit like Jordan and then my homie Nate. They're the type of dudes, their endocannabinoid system, they smoke flower and it fucks them up greatly compared to dabs and edibles and vapes. Throughout the day they can handle those, but as soon as they smoke some live terpenes with the flower, something about that shit, they are gassed out. That nigga Jordan would be like, bro, I'm anxious right now. Like I'm having a little paranoia from this weed hit.
He said the herb be doing it.
Yeah, so it's the endocannabinoid system. Mine's like, hey, weed, you're good. Run that shit.
Yeah. So do you have like, I mean, feeding into that, do you have like a favorite, well, did you already answer the terp part?
I didn't answer terp specifically, no. So I guess if you're talking about strains,
yeah. Are you aware of like a terp?
Yeah. So I'm a little bit on the. I like sativas. I like hybrids. I don't like the like super duper demotivated, de-energized flower feeling. I don't get that too much now since I use a lot. But terpene wise, I avoid limonene and terpinolene, which are sativa based terpenes. So I kind of like the flavor and the effect of indica, caryophyllene, myrcene terpenes, but I don't care what strain type it's in. Okay. So I just like 20% area of THC, and I feel pretty confident the terpene profiles are strong.
That's fair, because I forget what it is. There's a specific strain type. I feel like that you said you try and stay away from.
There was one Jack Hare from Rhythm that like tasted straight like cat piss, and it was like 1.9 in terpenes of terpinolene. And that was when I was like, the effects were there, but the flavor trade-off, I don't want that type of strain. Okay. So another part of Ohio, I wish I could smell my weed before I buy it. Like, what's this gonna?
Yeah. Nose best. You taking away my chest. No, I made that shit up.
So was a weed poet today.
Yeah, just count on me for the bars.
Need any weed related bars? I got you.
Yeah, for sure. Got the drill.
He got the drill. You already know.
Nah, so you got a favorite, like snack or munchie that you can rely on when you get, medicated, and it just kicks in. You like, yo, no matter what. You don't always gotta have it, but if you're able to have it or around it,
so on some unhealthy shit, I'll start with unhealthy. Nerd clusters.
Nerd clusters.
Something about that texture and then the sweetness.
Yeah,
that's good.
My little autistic ass, I'll knock all the nerds off and just have the gummies left and then chew them up.
He said knock all the.
I'll just be sitting there fried. That's my little autistic stemming.
That sounds like a project though. You gotta knock all the nerds off.
I'm telling you, bro. It's just part of my life. I'm just subconsciously doing it every time I eat a nerd cluster. I don't know.
Fuck these.
It's my life. So that shit I would say is probably like the go-to. Like, I'm about to go smoke with my homies. We're about to be out and about. Like, I'll have some nerd clusters. Let me pick that up. Besides that, fruit is really good. Crunchy vegetables are really good with hummus, like cucumber, carrots, a little bit of celery. Shit like that is real good. And then pretzels, you dip in hummus, or chocolate, you like dipping in chocolate. But I try not to eat too much bullshit anymore because I'm not on insurance. So.
Yeah. You said I gotta take care of myself.
Yeah, it kind of hits you when you turn 26. You're like, oh, I gotta take care of this body or it's gonna cost me money.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, no,
that's a good point.
Health is wealth, so you
as well.
gotta take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Hey yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love.
Managing all parts of your health is definitely
that's a good balanced answer. We maybe should start asking people like, what's your unhealthy
and then your healthy snack. See if they come up with something good. I mean, you can even do like chocolate hummus. It's like sweetened hummus and it's not too sugary and it's healthy. It's got fiber in there and shit. So
some shit too.
That's another thing they do when we're kids. Is here's a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
Bye. And you just get like subconsciously addicted to eating a bunch of sweet shit all the time.
I mean, that's
that's how they get us, man.
The society now too, though. Like it's like they got people the lifestyles, and unless you got it like that, most people resort
it's what's
to fast
accessible
because all the healthy food is expensive.
The easy, cheap, accessible shit.
Yeah.
All the healthy shit is expensive as heck. That's crazy.
For sure. That's very well said. So, I mean, leading to like the munchies or snacks, sometimes you can get that comatose, but depending on what you eat. Does that lead you to
itis?
The itis. Would that lead you to in the couch or chilling somewhere watching your favorite movie or show? If you had one of those to go to,
if I prefer that when I'm fried,
yeah.
I I guess, I don't know. I mean, it just depends on my life for real. Because when I was working, leaving the house every day to do shit, it's like, damn, I want to go home and chill.
Yeah.
And now that I work from home a bit, it's like, I don't mind smoking the blunt in the car on the way up to there, or, you know, having a joint to roll up when I get to the homie spot. So, I don't know. I kind of like a balance of those. But couch lock, I mean, like waking up in the morning, just like getting fried as fuck and having some good breakfast and shit for a couple hours, nothing to do. You're like Saturday morning. I guess that's a little better. I'm a little more hermit leaning sometimes.
Okay.
But that's why I said spring around the corner. It's like I used to skate all the time, so just something about like getting out.
Rollerblade or ice skate?
Skateboard.
Skateboard. Yeah, you can board.
Something about going out. It's like I think I was watching a video that was talking about how, you know, cannabis can somewhat cause like a reaction when you're using it a lot, where you just kind of don't want to go out. The anxiety, the social anxiety element. And then just like the comfort and like the laziness elements of it, where you just find yourself in a disorder of like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out.
In that cycle.
Yeah, you don't want to get cabin fever. You don't want to get like human deprivation interaction. So I think it's good to still like tell yourself like, I'm fried. I can do this. I can go out. I can have fun. Like I went to my uncle's little 50th party, and I was like smoking my vape pen.
With all the old heads.
Hell yeah! And they were trying to get me to smoke and shit too. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get anxious even saying smoking. But I was drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's fun getting out. You get over that little, I'm fried. You know, I feel like the stigma of society and shit that also plays a role. Of like, you get fried, you don't want to like. It's not cool to be knowingly, I'm fried doing shit. But it's like, it's okay. It's alright to do that shit. So.
I think it's like you think it's more in your head. So when you know like the other people around you aren't high, sometimes I feel like people fixate on that. Like,
and you're like, am I coming off woozy?
Yeah, like, everybody's looking at
me. Do I stay?
I mean,
but it's like, who cares? It's me. Who cares?
Yeah,
people
like,
be drunk as fuck all around.
Yeah, exactly. I was at the store the other day and this dude was drunk as fuck, and the guy at the counter basically had to tell him to leave.
Yeah.
So I could go and get my stuff.
And you're like, I'm sober. Hello.
I'm gonna run that question back in a different way, because you definitely gave me another way of rephrasing it, but also.
So when you have the couch,
so you chose outdoor, and I respect the hell out of that.
You're saying if I am,
but when cause look, you gonna either way when you smoke, you gonna smell like cannabis.
Yeah.
When outside, obviously you gonna embrace it and like walk. You know, wherever you are, people just gonna. Say something,
especially if you're boxing and shit.
Yeah. They gonna say something, or they just gonna look at you or cough or whatever. Yeah. But then, at the home, in your home, you can peacefully chill. Would you rather like watch a show, movie, or what would be your go-to show or movie?
Activity once I'm fried at the cribbo.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess I get on my PC and I like to just like free ball. I feel like making music. Do I feel like getting on games? Do I feel like watching videos?
Just creating some type of way.
It's just kind of like an improv of like, what do I want to do to occupy my time? Yeah. And then sometimes I really enjoy like taking a fat rip and going cooking. Yeah. And I'll cook, the dinner for me and my girl, and spend an hour just standing up focused on cooking and listening to something in my ear. So
I feel that shit.
Playing with my dog's fun too. So I would say primarily though it's creativity. It's like I'll get that like demotivation. Yeah. I'll get that like, damn, man, what should I do? What? I'll just like find something. Yeah. Video games, music, something to do. Yeah. Sometimes I work on videos. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's dope. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So now,
so now we're gonna switch it up.
I mean, definitely have to switch it up in a bit. But if you could change one thing about the cannabis industry as a whole, what would it be? Because, there's not just Ohio. Obviously, there's a lot that could be changed. But in general, is there anything that you think that you could see the industry using as a change?
I guess if I could snap my fingers and just get it where I feel like it should just be sold like any other product, like any other controlled substance, with medication, or you talk about alcohol being recreational and shit. Yeah. Just thwarting it forward with legality and social stigma and just understanding. Like, there's some people that, like, in my family, that's like, they'll drink, they'll smoke, or you smoke cigarettes and do this, but the moment it's like my kid smoking weed, I'm disowning them.
For real?
So it's like that type of shit. It's like, you can't force people's opinions and shit, but it's just like, hey, if we're socially accepting alcohol, we're there. Like,
Yeah.
we can do that with weed
Okay,
too.
so you feel like if the world around them made it so it
I mean,
was,
and it would be
just
like a
everything
worldwide thing. I
else.
mean, there's countries where they'll lock you
Yeah.
up for 30 years for having a joint, bro.
Yeah.
Like, to this
I
day.
know.
Like, so that's what I would change. Just like
I get what you're
we're
saying,
reducing the
like-
harshness of marijuana, because
Yeah.
there's a scale to drugs, and you're talking about like under nicotine. You're like nearing like caffeine
Yeah.
with marijuana.
Right.
Maybe the first couple times you're
Yeah.
blasted, but like if you're a user and you're consistent, it's like you can handle your life and use marijuana.
Yeah.
You're not hurting no one.
And
So.
caffeine is kind of even more.
You'll be more addicted to that
Yeah.
bitch. You'll be in the morning scratching like, I really want that 50
I need my
milligrams.
coffee.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nah, that's fair. I respect that. And
Yeah, that kind of ties in.
But that's just definitely like you know, the overall, you know, awareness and you know, I guess presentation or just people
Like experience
public opinion
testimony.
of it.
Yeah, like how people carry themselves with marijuana. 'Cause
Yeah.
there are bad drugs. There are drugs that I would never put in my body. And then it's like, you call it dope and this and drugs and that. And it's like,
But that's
marijuana's kind of lumped in there for a lot of people.
that's
so.
kind of what this is between the buds. Just this experience testimony on how it's helped
Yeah.
people,
Yep.
and not just necessarily ruined.
I feel like
different people
Tommy
are
Chong,
relate.
I'm wearing my Cheech and Chong shirt right now. Tommy Chong and Martin Cheech are one of the pioneers from like the 70s. That's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm putting out albums, I'm making coherent movies,
Yeah.
I have a life, and marijuana is a big part of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So Snoop and Wiz are another
We've had a
examples
lot
of
of
that.
people. Even, that's why I hated the whole situation with Michael Phelps, because I'm like,
Bro.
look at how
Great
physically
example.
active
Michael
this dude
Phelps.
is.
Great example.
I know, great example, but I'm
And
sorry,
Shabbat.
no, Josh Gordon though.
Oh, yeah.
he got his life ruined. Like that's so fucked up. Like
Yeah.
there's some athletes that's got
Yeah.
their lives like just,
From marijuana.
yeah, over
Yeah.
the plant. Like it's like crazy.
So,
but,
I mean,
so many people.
It's going to
bro.
take years. It's going to
'Cause
take
I'm
years,
like-
man.
well,
I'm like, look at how physically, like, in shape they are.
I bet you it helps you. You're like, damn, I just worked out for 8 hours straight. My body's fucked. Oh, like I'm just
like,
chilling
if
tonight.
anything,
Like,
just
damn, bro.
generalize
I mean,
that
it's
among
full
all the
recovery.
athletes.
Yeah,
It's full
Like,
recovery.
it's science. It goes into your muscles. You have endocannabinoid systems
shout
in your
out
body,
athletes and
bro.
cannabis.
yeah.
But
Because
no.
if I was them, I'd be like, well, shit, can we do that to everybody?
Like literally, what's that looking like? You're telling me they could just smoke a little bit and take some CBD cream and they're chilling and then they're ready for the next day to work out again? Like it's helpful.
Right.
Like it's yeah.
How's that
bro.
harm? But see, speaking of that, that kind of leads to the next question.
Yeah.
Like, should cannabis be covered by the government as like a form of healthcare?
Yeah. If they're handing out perks,
Ah,
if Uncle Sam said you can take some oxys because your insurance provider said you good,
right.
then marijuana should have been on that. I mean, it's just like overdue shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
because
a good answer.
I've always said marijuana is a prime example of humans doing too little, doing the wrong route, and it just gets dragged. It's like an improper game of telephone or a bunch of kindergartners starting a business or something. Like it's not smart. It's not a good way to handle it. But then it's just generation after generation
Right.
gets carried throughout humanity. Like marijuana's bad, and it turned from
Yeah.
that in America. But then it's like there's like a big influence on the whole world and shit from marijuana being this bad thing.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No, that's fair.
it's unfortunate, but
It's a tough battle to
Yeah.
to deal with, but
it's like, how did we get here?
yeah.
How did y'all? How am I talking about something that's so like normal and chill, and it's
It's-
not? And it's
it's-
like some people are like, whoa!
It's
Like,
in the
what?
Bible.
Yeah, that's why I feel
It's
like
in everything.
for some like
It's
older
in-
people, they look at where we are now and they feel like they kind of have like gotten the W because they're like, oh, you know, we never would have imagined like we better go to the store and get it.
There's
But-
an Andre 3000 song that comes to mind. We got
It's
a long
like-
way to go.
Yeah, it's like
Those are baby steps.
yeah, we just been.
Because guess what?
kinda
It's
making
not
some steps,
federally legal. And if I'm about to take a trip down to Florida, if they caught me with this, they say, you're about to face a felony, bud.
Yeah.
Chill. Can y'all chill
It's
me?
just nicotine.
Like, chill the
Now
fuck.
that-
Yeah.
No, this is.
No, I know.
Okay.
I
They're gonna say, well, my dog hit your car, bud.
Yeah.
We're gonna get this
Right.
tested.
I mean, the dog can hit anything. Though. You got some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
They're like, that's cool. We're gonna
Right.
get this
Shit.
tested then. And then they're gonna hit you with that felony. And the state is gonna be like, I'll put money into this. Let's charge this guy with the felony. I'm bored.
I mean, that's just because they bored and they extra. And
It's
they
just
not-
dumb
they
shit.
misinformed.
It's dumb shit.
But
Put
they
some
also-
energy towards something needed, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because, you know, sorry, my niece just texted. they, you know, they want to still imprison a damn plant. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, it's ridiculous. There's think about the 3 strikes rule. There's people that, like, got hit with we was talking about that last night.
Yeah.
That, just maybe a bag of cannabis and, like, you know, they go to jail for life.
30 years.
For
20 years out your life, and it's just like, yeah, that's normal. That's acceptable.
And then you even, like, there's either retired law enforcement people or
Bro, I would
current employed people that
I would see them firsthand. I'm
Yep.
like, it looks like a detective badge you just showed me next to your ID.
Yep. Yep.
Man, this case stressed me out.
Yep.
Nah, so
That's what they be on, bro.
I see it myself too, and
Yeah.
I was questioning
It's
it
just-
in my head, but I'm like, okay.
But yeah, it's so hypocritical. It's almost like it's like a just business in a type of way, a fucked up business. Cause jail is business. Shit, think about it.
Yep.
Man.
I mean, because society, we need balances of you've done behavior, you have free will. I can't just take away your free will. So you've chose something, consequences. You fucked up, chief. We gotta have that, but then you gotta balance that too. Like it's just as important to balance that shit. You can't just be like, well, I'm gonna create this thing. That's it. Like make sure it's done properly though, and like think about why it's happening. Why'd you set it up in the first place, and how could you improve it? And should you ever stop improving it?
Right.
Just like the leadership involved in this world, bro, they be dropping the ball so many fucking times.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's like, it's humans. It's what it's been. We've been on this wave, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I always use the example, like,
Yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies. Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love.
America is about hypocrisy. You know, we're founding this nation using this term freedom and every man, and then you're allowed to own slaves. 2 thumbs up. So that's where it's like, bro, we've been on that time. We've been on that dysfunction as people, as a species, you know? So cannabis is just another example of how we do that shit to this day. Until Uncle Sam says, federally, you're good, I don't got that much faith. It's like, it's a slow crawl, bro.
Yeah. I feel that.
It'll be years from now. It'll be like, we're old farts. We have like the little AI robot coming in.
Yeah,
Sir, they've legalized marijuana federally.
We're
like,
gonna be
thank
the next one.
literally, like, I'm an old fart now. That's great. Now I can get some.
Yeah, like the older people now, we're gonna be them.
I'm gonna call my insurance. Like, oh, can you give me some weed on my insurance, please? Finally, Uncle Sam passed it. Finally, I'm an old man.
Oh, that's fun.
What are you calling for today? How may I help you? Yes, I'd like to add something to my policy.
Yeah, literally. I'm looking at the news.
Bro.
Yeah.
Hi,
Joe. Hang up the phone.
Yeah, done. It's legal now, bitch. No, it's lit.
Like 60 years.
He said we gonna be old as
If
fuck.
the federal
They
laws
said,
change
change.
in the next 60 years, I'll be genuinely surprised. If I'm 86 years old and that's around the time they're changing it, then I'll be like, okay, I kind of predicted that because it's just a slow crawl, bro.
It is.
So if that change was to happen, and you had the opportunity to create a strain name, what would it be?
What would
Did I have
what would
strain-
ToTo's original
Did I have
strain
strain?
name?
Something about toes for sure, but hold on, let me pull something
He
up.
said toes. Something about toes.
I feel like I have a notes of like strain ideas.
He said, hold on, let me check the thing because I've already had this written
No,
down.
I have t-shirt ideas. I have a bunch of t-shirt ideas. Ooh, Boofadrill. That's a good one.
Boofadrill.
That's a good one.
Boofadrill.
Sound like a
Like a medicine. Oh. Take Boofadrill.
I like this one, Street Urchin.
Street
Street
urchin.
urchin.
That's a good
Sound
one.
like that sounds like an Ohio thing.
Street-
Nobody take that. That's my
Trademark.
Street urchin.
I got lawyers.
Yeah.
Street urchin.
Fucking some street weed.
Oh,
I mean
shit.
street like a seaweed.
Yeah, like a-
Yeah.
Seaweed. It's a seaweed. It's a seaweed.
Grown in the cracks of the sidewalk.
That'd be the picture. That'd be the picture when you get the package. It's like that's like our
Street urchin.
that's our brand. It's
From
weed growing out of a crack in the street.
Who knew from a crack weed could grow? No, it's
From
like,
anywhere.
instead of a rose, it's fucking weed.
That's real.
shit.
Nah,
I'd buy it. I'd smoke it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if you
fine.
see weed growing from concrete on the street, would you grab it or smell it?
It was
That's
probably
like
me.
magical. I get it.
I'm Tony Appleweed.
It's only apple.
I'm throwing them bitches everywhere.
Yeah, fuck it.
Street urchin. You get street urchin.
You get seeds. You get seeds.
You get street urchin. You get street
That's the next
urchin.
album name right there.
Look under your seat. You
Tony
get street
Apple.
urchin. Tony
There
Apple.
you go, look. It's real.
Hell yeah.
Everywhere.
I got one germinating at home from a clutch flower I
So
bought.
you get seeds. You get seeds.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
I can see you going around town now. You about to.
Sprinkle here.
Got a weed pot on my
It's
head. Or got
right
a
around that time.
cooking pot on my head.
Actually, spring forward. This
It is around that time. Yeah.
tomorrow.
Tonight.
Or is it tonight?
You're gonna be at. It's gonna be 2:59 a.m. and then it's gonna go to 2 a.m. after that.
Wait, it's going backwards.
Oh, forward.
Forward, yeah.
It's
We're
spring
gonna
forward.
read
Yeah.
hour, I think.
So it would be
So
4 o'clock.
I gotta go to bed early.
You're gonna miss
Yeah.
an hour. Yeah.
Going to sleep tonight
Yeah.
early.
Another part of humanity. Why are we doing that? There's got to be a better way.
Remember when they
I
were
thought we was
talking
killing
about
that.
Literally.
I mean, like
they were
stopping
talking about
it,
just
it's not
making
killing
it daylight savings all year round, so we would always have more sun.
Yeah.
Fam.
But then
Just
what
pass me
the
the
main
bread.
argument I hear is, it's because the kids will be out when the sun's not up yet. You know, like kids that are going to school and take the bus early.
I mean, we do that shit.
I'm like, bro, I remember
That's
being
all
like
we did.
11 years old waiting in the cold. Like, what are we talking about? And if anything, they can just push the hours back for school if they're so pressed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, fuck them kids. I don't care about them. They'll be alright. What?
He said it's a hard night life. You know
Out
what I'm saying?
fine.
It's just as character shit.
What?
He said, man, fuck them kids. I ain't worried about them.
We'll be
That's
alright.
funny. All right, so this is a good one for you. What would you say are your top 5 artists that you listen to when you fry? I feel like I already know.
I just bought tickets for him
I
today.
know,
So
we
Tobaccus, Mr. Tobacco
Yeah.
/ Black Moth Super Rainbow.
Yeah.
Then we got
I don't even know if I heard of that dude.
Tobacco, yeah.
they got gas.
It's pretty good.
They got gas. Then I would say probably Earl.
Or
MF Doom.
Earl the Sorcerer.
Yeah,
he's
between
sick.
those two. And like Earl's more like, oh, I'm depressed, like when I listen to Earl. Like MF Doom's like, oh, I could live my life and listen to this all the time. Earl's like, dude, holy shit, this song
But
is
it's
sad.
so deep.
It's
though.
gas.
It's
He's been
deep
coming
as
out with
fuck.
singles that aren't like that, like Making the Band,
Yeah.
and then he had another one he just came out with that was popping. His singles are hot, bro.
He said, when I'm in my bag, I'm listening to Earl. I'm
like,
just really thinking about my thoughts.
bro, he be spitting. Like Earl, yeah, Earl's one of them goats. Besides that, I don't know. I feel like a Kid Cudi. You know, I'm a big Cudi stan,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Cudi's always on rotation.
Yeah, fuck with Cudi. Shout out
I would
to
say I used to
Cudi.
say like Divine Council and Icy Twat and them. I don't fuck with them no more.
I was
can't listen to
thinking
them.
somebody that starts with a T.
Tyler.
Not Tyler.
Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Toro-
Toro.
Toro
definitely.
Lee Moy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Tyler,
fuck with
Tyler was like when I was younger, bro. Now that I'm older, it's like,
Because I know you fuck with Toro.
ooh,
so-
Flying Lotus and Thundercat.
Ooh.
Those are two that are definitely in my music library a lot.
Okay, those are the ones too.
Yeah. Oh, what's
Fuck with
playing?
that. Okay.
Flying Lotus is playing.
He said, that's right. I'm on phone right now.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what's up. That's what's up. Getting that just said.
Technical dip.
Just some technical difficulties.
Nah,
It's
but-
part of the lifestyle.
So I fuck with Toro and Flying Lotus stuff.
Yeah. Toro's the boy for sure.
For real, man.
He been
He's got a
way
whole
ahead
bunch
of
of
his
genres.
time for years.
Literally, his first like 2 projects, like 2011.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro, you can bump this right now. And this shit's hitting. It's just
Yeah.
like good pop, good fucking indie, like, yeah, it's like folk pop.
Yeah, it just had a feel to me because I started listening to heavy when I was in Cali too, and it just kind of fit the vibes a lot, you know.
It was under the Pine or whatever, and then everything in between, or the album that Rose Quartz is on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that album.
Yeah,
Those
that's
two
my
are
favorite
gas.
song.
Yeah.
Rose Quartz?
Yeah.
But now, that video's just raw too.
So many
Hell
beats.
yeah! I saw that for the first time like 2 years ago. I was like, oh my god!
His
Like,
video production just fire, bro.
that's the beauty of art. I feel like
Yeah,
it's like
artistic mind.
beyond hype and shit. It's just experiencing it for the first time, or like especially music. It's digestible. You just keep experiencing it and shit.
digesting it more.
Yeah, and then there's so much you
learning
can
things
do with
from
music.
it.
You can do visuals. You can do a full video. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Toro's in his bag as an artist.
Nah, that's what's up.
You can get in front of a metronome, and make some magic. That's a real artist. That's a real artist.
Metronome.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
He makes his own beats. He sings. You know, he did shit with Flying Lotus. You
I
ever heard
fuck
his
with,
collab with Flying?
What's the other one?
so many details is my shit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like top.
I'm pretty sure Haji's
FKJ and Masego too.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like Masego.
Yeah.
Well, that's that Tato beat, right?
Yeah.
Tato, yeah.
FKJ is fire.
Is it
live,
Tato or
but-
is it Tada?
Yeah,
Yeah, that song
FKJ,
I Do Everything, that shit hits.
He does all that live too, by himself.
Yep.
Instrument to instrument.
Oh, Tame Impala. That's a good one that I was
Yeah,
figuring
Tame-
out.
Tame's
Yeah.
nice.
Non hip hop oriented, but still real good.
Okay. Yeah, Tame's a fire one.
If you we kind of like have a segment where we go into our story time. So
Oh, yeah.
When
When you said that earlier, I started thinking about some marijuana stories for y'all. I think I got some good ones.
Okay.
How many guests have you had on here that talk about Wu-Tang and the Roach?
we said Wu-Tang in the Roach, what you mean?
Wu-Tanging the Roach. When you Wu-Tang a Roach?
Oh, no.
That's something I was known for. It was just like shits and giggles, like, oh, we're done with the Roach. Hand it to Tony, and he'll do it for you. And you just eat the Roach. That's what you do.
You was one of them, dude. I always
Yeah.
had that one homie that would do that shit.
While it's lit.
While it's lit.
Yeah.
Just,
So that's fun. But another time that comes to mind is right there on Refugee by Refugee and Hines. There's a little park there. And me and my homies and my cousin was with us. We're like, young niggas driving around. Let's go smoke.
Yeah.
We fuck around, go into the woods. It's like past, hours, of course. And we're sitting there. And all of a sudden you see two flashlights walking up. I've been down this road before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, it's probably the boys. Let's get this over with. We threw down our blunts, kept walking, and they're like, what you guys doing out here? And I don't know about y'all, but we're right on the cusp of Canal and Pickerington and all that. Columbus cops do not get a fuck.
No.
Yeah.
They're like, they got caught out there, there's nothing else to do, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's just go fuck with these dudes and find something else to do after
Let's
this.
see what's going
Maybe
on.
they got some meth on them or something. Like, they don't care though, they're just like bored.
Yeah.
As soon as they saw us young niggas out here smoking shit, they're like, all right, what y'all doing out here? We're like, we're making a music video. And it's me, my white boy Blake, and my white boy Nate, and then my cousin Day Day. And it's like me and white boy Blake are rappers.
Okay.
So they're like, so which one of you guys rappers? And we're like, oh, me and Blake are like, all right, I'll tell you guys what. Technically, you're trespassing right now. So we could cite you. We'd have to contact your parents, all that jazz. But if you're just making art out here, making music or whatever, do this for me. Let me hear some of your guys' raps. Make sure you're actually rappers.
Oh, wow.
This is before the body cam era.
Yeah, okay.
Because they definitely were just bullshitting. And
Yeah.
My name is Tony. I like macaroni. I slapped a white girl with a piece of bologna. I went to jail. And he was there, just like, oh, okay. And then they're like, all right, Blake, my friend, let's see what you got. And he was just like, like stage fright and shit. And they're like, all right, you guys get out of here. You guys have a good night. Don't come into the park after dark. See you guys. So that's my
That's funny.
that's my
That's
interesting
crazy,
marijuana story.
Yeah.
I
Is
feel
that-
like cops do be fucking with kids like that, bro. Man. Just-
They know. They were probably smoking on the side house too.
Like, they have no business, but they just
Yeah.
So what's that wouldn't have anything to do with your first time using it, would it?
Yeah,
No.
what was it? Tell us what
what's
your
that?
first time using was like. What was the
Long ago, Tony was a bit of a different person.
the Star Wars
Wait,
credit?
so one time in this car, galaxy we're doing.
Long
Wait,
ago,
so
the
far.
four nations lived in harmony until one day the Fire Nation attacked. I was one of those dudes that was like, oh, you know about drugs? I went to Dare, I went to Pickerington, so it's like, the sheltered soccer moms. Oh, I want my kid to do great. That's how my mom was.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't smoke weed. Don't ever smoke weed. But like I said, I kind of went through the whole 12, 13, 14 years old, depression, mental stuff starting. So I would already feel some of that shit going. And then I was hanging out with a interesting group of friends, we'll say, that were not the best influences in life. Hindsight 2020. But in the moment, I'm hanging out with these dudes, and they would always be like,
Some ne'er-do-well.
yeah, definitely, nowadays, yeah. But in the moment, I'm hanging out with them. I'm like, these are my homies, my brothers. I'm looking out for them. We got each other's back. And they would always smoke.
Hey, yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
Skies gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter spread some wisdom so so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love.
Go in the basement, they poke little holes in the Arizona can, smoke weed. Blake's mom was like the little single divorced mom that didn't give a fuck about people smoking. So niggas always knew, go over there, smoke. You're smoking a bunch of can paint with your weed. So I used to be a little lookout. I remember one night, it was like a Friday night, Blake's mom's home with her boyfriend, so it's like, niggas want to smoke, so they're gonna go outside and smoke. And I would just like sit on the back near the door and like tell them like, hey, you know, whatever. So one of those days, it was like 2 or 3 times I'd done that. One of those days, they're like, hey, let's get Tony. I remember hearing them say that. Let's get Tony to smoke for the first time. And you know me, Devin. I'm a little goofy. I'm a little extra. And so, like, I was on that wave of, like, I'll go out there and talk to them. I'll goof around. But I'm like, look, bro, I'm not smoking. Like, I'm not smoking. And they're like, just try it. Just try it. And then this one dude, his name's Jensen. He's horrible person, just like not a good person. Like I said, shit happened after the fact that's like, oh my god, like why was I close with you?
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's like this horrible person's in my life, and he's like, it's a plant, it grows natural. You take Advil, don't you? This shit's safer than that. Like he's like hit me with like shit I say to this day.
Peer pressure, yeah.
But he's a despicable person. But he was hitting me with some facts. I'm just sitting there, and I had just watched Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
And there's a scene where the character was looking up all the symptoms of marijuana, and it helps treat this and helps treat that, but also could cause paranoia and munchies. And she's like, I'll try marijuana. And I was just sitting there like, 14, adolescent mind, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it.
Get the bowl up. I can't do this, bro. And I put it down, I ran from the side house all the way down the block. Because there's like this little path. I'm just sitting there like, crossroads, like, am I about to do this? Am I really about to like break rules like this in my life? Am I really about to do drugs? Am I really about to do this?
Episode of like a teen
Literally.
show. Like,
Tony,
I can't do this.
Tony
guys.
squatted under the moonlight and contemplated his teenagehood now. Like literally, I was like,
over.
and then my homies came back, and like I said, it's that brotherhood. It's like niggas looking out for me. It's like little like codependency, young nigga shit. You don't really realize it. So like, bro, we got you. You're good. It's gonna be cool. So I'm like,
take flight.
Like, I'm like, fuck it. Take 2 hits out the bowl. Didn't even feel that high.
Yep.
Went back inside. Remember, like looking in the mirror and be like, wow, my eyes are a little red, but like I don't feel that high. Chill.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I told niggas that, and they were like, oh, smoking's fun. I was like, smoking's not that bad. I got it. And they were like, bro, honestly, the next time you smoke, you're getting it in your system for the first time.
Yeah.
But the next time you smoke, you gonna get blasted,
And that's
bro.
just a little introduction, you know.
And
now you're comfortable.
Lo and
with that,
behold,
now you're cool.
lo and behold, it was like a little 2 blunt on forehead night, and I smoked like, I can't remember that, like how many you smoke. You just remember being fried as fuck.
Yeah, it was
So then I was like, I think I can get behind this.
I remember Rock Band became the best game.
Oh my god! In video games, munchies, eating kettle chips when I got home. I was watching the Boondocks, laughing my ass off, like just pivotal memories of like,
Yeah.
Kettle chips. Why kettle chips?
Like gaming.
Why specifically kettle chips?
bro, because they're crunchy. I told you that crunch texture. It's the autism when you're fried in the molecules in your brain like you eating. It's like, oh, I like the crunch textures too. Yeah, I like it builds neurons, bro.
That's why you like put the chips on the sandwich too, you know.
You're like, let me get that sub, and I need some kettle chips on the
put some
side.
chips on that shit. Like, on the
Yeah.
sandwich.
Subway, why don't you offer that shit?
On the
I'm
sandwich.
trying to put you on, bro.
Come on.
Make a smoke bar while you're at
We
it.
just gave Subway a new option.
Right.
Better than CEO.
That's why it's like that.
Nah, but
That's good. That's good.
that's funny. Hell yeah. So, would you say cannabis helps you in a creative way at all?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking about that a little bit in the beginning. So typically it'll be like, so I'll take a step back. Without marijuana at all in my system, I had a project I was working on last year, and it was like, it was just as easy to get into the groove of making shit and doing it. I just noticed it was less consistent, where I would wake up and I'll start my day doing this, or get home doing that, or where I would work out a lot more.
Yeah.
But then, like creativity, I'd be like, well, I'm like writing down, scheduling what I want to do. Like, I'm trying to like keep up with this. Yeah. And then when I'm fried, it's, smoking marijuana is like every morning, especially how my girl kind of sleeps in, I'll have like 2 hours, I'm just drinking coffee, smoking by myself. It's like, let me just get on the beat. I'll have like 4 or 5 songs that I'm singing.
the beat?
Yeah, bro. It's how you tell you got some good weed. If you're sober, you take that sober hit, you'll feel that gas. Yeah. So usually I'll take that sober hit and I'll get real creative. So I feel like it helps out.
In,
I feel like it helps out with that element.
We was literally working on some shit before we came over today.
Yep. I think
like,
sitting
you know
back
what?
to like enjoying what I like the demos. You know, being a musician and creator, like you see the in betweens from the created to the end project. So it's real fun sometimes having like how we're working on our shit or how I'm working on this other shit with this dude out in Europe. It's like you'll sit back and be like, let me just listen to 3 demos I'm working on, and you'll kind of like nitpick and still like listen to it like you're an audience, but like you're just figuring out. And I feel like with marijuana, it's more of like a, you know,
it's almost natural.
I'm doing that almost every time I smoke. I want to hear those songs. I want to think about what I'm gonna do on the track and shit. So
how you want to enhance it.
Yeah, like you can listen to it, like you listen to it in the car, and you're like, oh, when I get home, I'm gonna add this. Now I know, like I can put this here.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I feel that.
So what sparked your interest to start like producing, and how much does it mean to you?
Well, it's in my blood. So my dad is a local Columbus artist. He produces, he raps and all that shit. So it's always been like, because I didn't grow up around my dad. So I always had like an intrigue in music. So when I was like 8 or 9, my little neighborhood homie, you know, he had like a piano. I would get like this little bullshit electric drum set. We'd jam, you know, just play random shit. We'd learn how to play Coldplay songs.
Yeah.
You know, just stupid shit like that. And it's just like, I like music. Bro, I'm telling you. And then you talk about Guitar Hero. Nigga, World Tour changed my life.
Yeah.
That's what made me pick up the sticks and be like, oh, I can play hard. I can play expert. Yeah. And I'm like having fun on the drums, and I'm like 10, 11. Yeah. And I remember being like 3 or 4 in the church and always just have my eyes on the drummer.
Yeah.
Always like, you know, seeing people dance and shit, and just loving like the little breakdown moments where the chords would come in and the preacher's talking. So I went to like Baptist church, and then I went to like, you know, local around Pickerington churches. Yeah. So like I seen like the Baptist with my grandma, and then, like I said, they'd have like those little melodic acoustic, you know, breakdowns. And, and it's all like airy and shit. So I fell in love with music, but I feel like it's been in my ear. It's always been in my heart. I feel like my girl, she likes making music, but she don't release or nothing. Yeah. So like I guarantee if I don't even influence it, my kids will be like that, where it's just like a genetic like. Yeah. You know, your artist brain is passed down.
Because it is like that, bro. Like, even between him and I, like, he has people in his family that do gospel. My dad's side of the family did gospel.
My mom would always sing.
Yeah, exactly.
In the car,
like,
and
my mom would sing. She's got decent vocals. Like, even
shit,
her
my dad
mom,
and my uncle, they always grew weed, so. So the shit runs in the family. I ain't grew up around my dad, but he definitely got the weed in him.
It is.
My dad too.
I swear, it's
my
like,
mom too.
It's like genetic traits. All it's like even probably like growing, just being a
green thumb.
Yeah, that's the word I was trying to look. Yeah, like.
I always liked growing too. Like my mom would have a garden, but I never put like marijuana and grow my own marijuana. I always knew that's a big no-no.
Yo, get you a seed.
Yeah.
No
I'll take one before I go. I'll try to germinate them bitches. I already got one sitting in some a damp paper towel at home, so you let me know.
Yeah, nah, but that's what's up, man. I would say, how would well, shit. Damn, we kind of getting close to the end, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we breezing through.
But nah, that's cool.
We killing it.
I was gonna say, how, like, is there anything that you want the people to know, or we didn't discuss that you would like to say to people about, you know, yourself or even cannabis industry, or I mean not but like cannabis itself, I should say.
Yeah, I got a good message that I was thinking about on my way up here. What I want to talk about today with cannabis, because it's kind of an umbrella for society, the world, how we need to just move as people.
Yeah.
But we could talk about marijuana specifically. You know, the people in power, people that have strings and leaders and, you know, can actually influence how things play out with the marijuana business and the marijuana rules in Ohio. Like, it should be optimized. It should be function priority. We want things to work well. We want to understand each individual thing step by step. And humans somewhat do that with like libraries and 911. And there's certain things we set up, but just being thorough with it. So one of the first steps that you can do if you're in the marijuana industry in Ohio is observe what type of energy we get from your company, what you're working for. Kind of see if there are proper things being done with how you're being treated, how the marijuana and like the the product is being sold and the customers are being, you know, brought into the building and the products are getting into their hands. And just keep an eye on things, because like many levels of life, there's a lot of room for corruption. And there's a lot of people that get fucked over that don't even know it, or like can't do anything about it once they know it, and they just get powerless. So just knowing, like, if you work in a dispensary, if you know someone that works in a dispensary, like, you're pivotal to that operation. You are a person that deserves to have rights, you know, deserves to have normalcy. And from what I hear and what I've experienced, there's a lot of room for you to get treated like a doormat. So that's like a worker side viewpoint. Just like, watch your back, stand up for yourself. If things are getting that fucked, where the company is mistreating you, and you want to stay with that company and still correct it, there are ways to help correct that and set that up properly to kind of hold the company accountable. So knowledge is power. People in the marijuana dispensaries and in the marijuana field should know that level, because you do have that voice, you do have that power to do something if you're being mistreated as a worker. And we as the people gotta like completely put our foot down hard and be like, there's only so much we can do. We can just tell our voices, but like that's the most that we can do, is just be like, you guys are letting us down. Like, this is not what democracy is supposed to be. If I vote something in and we agreed on everything's there, don't get your hands on it and start changing the rules how you specifically want. Like, that's
it shouldn't be. It ain't gotta be a riot, but it should be heavy presence and like consistently, like you know, down at the state house, public, you know, write letters.
When you vote people in and out, just vote the people that are doing this shit right now out.
Remember those people.
A lot of times they go unopposed. It's just their name right there.
And I don't know what you want out of your government, but
Huffman.
I don't want my government to say, hey.
No, his real name is Huffman, actually, y'all.
I know.
But
I mean, like, cause it's like marijuana is a good example to just see what level of a politician you're dealing with. Like, how are you so okay acting like this thing is that harsh and trying to change these rules that we voted for? We understand that other states handle properly.
What's crazy though is they took a lot of people using their voices and everything that they, you know, try to use positive, and then they like kind of combine, even with the hemp bill, and then they turned around and wrote this, like, he just like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna take everything y'all saying and write something back, and now laugh, like, look at this bill. Basically,
it was like a pros and cons,
like I'm gonna take it and use it against your ass. That's kind of what he did.
He's like, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's like he wrote that anti-bill.
Hey, yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love.
He needs
Like
to be
we said,
Senator
everyone did
Puffman
this.
for real. Like,
He did this.
like learn, he probably need to sit back and try some drugs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, do y'all even smoke?
Yeah. No,
Like,
do you even use cannabis? Do you like at all? Like,
do you care about cannabis? Like,
probably not. They just drink or
They just need,
blow.
like,
it's a
That's
tool.
why they,
It's like marijuana is a
shit
tool.
intense.
It's a political topic. It's a the people want it, so how can I? And it's like, bro, it's just weed. They're like,
Yeah, I bet they all got little pocket mirrors.
from the shit I seen firsthand, the decisions that were made. I always made that joke. Those were cokehead moves.
Oh, exactly. The tents, they make the weight measurements. They were at the wrong stuff.
Like to be on some shit to be like. There's so many examples that come to my mind. Just one example is like to be on a wave of like, I know how strict this government is with advertising.
Yeah.
We're going live with Rick. Let's put out some signs. Just put them out. Like your tweet, like, do you want to get fined? Do you want thousands of dollars
Actually,
pissed
you want to
away?
get sued?
Like,
because it's in the law. They technically, somebody should be standing up suing the state.
and it's like word of mouth is alone. It's a dispensary. You got hot commodities. The laws just changed. You don't need to do that. And they're just like, oh, how'd that happen? Who put those out? Who greenlit that? It's like, were you paying attention to your business, dude?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they got a letter from the IRS. Y'all owe us 63 racks, and it was owed by January, and y'all ain't pay us. Like, what's up? Where's our bread? Like, y'all like owing the government 60 racks or something? Like I said, it's just like cokehead moves where it's like, just be concise. You know, like, it's a business. It's marijuana. It's a business.
Yeah.
Business thrives when you're there and you care and you try. And just like that, it's like that was involved with politicians.
Yeah.
That like their job is to be in the politicians, and they treat it like that. They treat it like a cokehead that doesn't actually try their hardest.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the money, it's this, it's power, I get this out of it. And it's like, dude, your position is to be the best rule provider, to be the best like representative for the people and help out. So that I feel like they're
help
tied.
the people, not
You're supposed to help
fuck
us
the people.
organize it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to
I
help
see
people,
other-
not fuck them over.
Like we gave you the plan, all you had to do was
He said,
organize
I'm
it
gonna be
for
the
us.
man.
Like,
Fuck
okay.
y'all.
It's like, I thought we didn't like dictators. I'm sorry, I thought the whole point of democracy, demo, the people, so we say we elect you because you make the decision, but we also like influence that decision, so like follow with the people.
Yeah.
You can't just do what
And
you
I think
want.
that's an issue Ohio has is it seems like every time there's already a system in place, especially among other states, Ohio wants to be very unique about it.
It's like,
Try
why?
and create its whole
What do you
new
get out of that?
realm of how to operate these things.
Missouri, Michigan, Illinois, those are little neighbor states. They're chilling. They don't got the sky falling down because people are growing 12 plants
They're
at home.
taking our money.
Yeah.
Like they're okay. So it's like, why are we just so like?
They're taking our bread and laughing at us. But I mean, shout out to my Michigan homies and
Yep.
peoples, you know.
Yeah.
I know some dope home growers in Michigan.
Yep.
Caregivers, salute.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, I wish we could get it right, but I don't know. We just gotta keep putting up a fight.
Time will
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
Started with a rhyme or a poem. I'm gonna end it with one.
Say
Nah.
get it
It's
right.
not right.
Get it right. We'll fight. No.
It's the human spirit, man.
Yeah,
We're
for
always
sure.
constantly trying to
Evolve.
correct shit
And
and
fight.
evolve
Yeah, yeah.
and fight for the right, because it's like there's just so much room and so much allowance. It's free will. You know, people do what they want, and it's just like a history of it. It's just normalized for like the dumbass dysfunctional way to be
Yeah.
the normal way.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what, Senator Puffman? I just did this whole interview high. I guess, you know, just remember, we're all just buds.
And we're just growing.
So, man, we appreciate you for coming out and taking the
He said
time.
I did it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and, you know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
important for you,
It's a
know,
great
your message, your
conversation.
story, and, you know, for everybody that's got a story in relationship with cannabis to stand behind it and not be afraid.
And tell the people how to find your music.
Oh
Yeah, if you look up ToToE, you'll probably find me on most streaming, YouTube, Twitch, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe add ToToE 1217. You might
okay.
find me also that way.
The hell is that for? No, I'm just playing.
He said that's my personal chat.
Yeah,
I was like-
1217. No, 1 2 check 1 2.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Make sure y'all
Mr.
go
ToTo,
follow them,
ToTo.
support them, stream, like,
Check 'em
subscribe, whatever.
Yeah.
Go check them out. And
Yes, sir.
you already know.
And me and Devin will be releasing a project this year, so
Yes, sir.
further
Be
notice
on the
about that,
lookout.
further specifics about that.
ToTo and D Jones.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all. We out. Appreciate y'all. Happy meditation.
Okay.
Hey yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love in every nug.
New strains, they'll be the judge and see what it does. It's between the buds.